Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about protecting your mind. It comes from a section of a book that I'm working on called Knowledge Athlete, where I apply principles from professional athletes, sports athletes, to knowledge work and to knowledge workers generally. So one of the things that I really like thinking about is the state of mind that athletes are in right before they're about to compete. So for example, F1 drivers, they're driving at incredible speeds over quite a long period of time, and they need to be incredibly precise. And to be incredibly precise, they need to be very focused for the duration of the race. Now, imagine if they were thinking that, like what did this person mean when they said this to me, or did I take out the trash, or oh, should I have bought these shares? You'll see here in this quote from one of the drivers, which is that every lap you need maximum concentration. You need to focus 100%, so everything influencing your life must be in the right place, and there can be nothing disturbing your mind. And I think that this is an extremely useful principle to keep in mind as you go through the day. I think that there's no reason why we should allow regular disturbances in our normal day-to-day life, so in our field of life, as I say here. And that includes things like checking all your notifications, like checking your phone all day, checking Facebook, checking Instagram, checking TikTok. So the thing that I like to tie back to is, okay, imagine that, I'm not saying that all day this is that you should stay this disciplined, but certainly for the productive part of your day, I think considering how athletes are performing before they're about to race, and the amount of mental discipline that they bring into the race is a very good one to keep in mind. And imagine that if an F1 driver or any athlete, if they're checking their notifications to see who liked a photo, that's really going to impact their mental ability to be able to compete at their very best. And so I think that one of the things that I try to take out of that is, as I'm working on things in my day-to-day life with my knowledge work, I want to bring the same amount of focus and to protect my mind at all costs. So what does that mean? That means if you notice, some negative thoughts that you're dwelling on, if you're, disturbed by something particular, so something maybe, like a friend said to you, to take those in stride. And the way that I think about these things is, if I think about the thoughts that are in my mind as having to pay rent to be in my mind, then those thoughts that are there, they need to be worthy to be occupying that space, because there's nothing that's more precious, I think, than taking up that mental real estate. And I think that it's not something that happens immediately. It takes time. You need to constantly be observing your thoughts and just being, I guess, very mindful. And I think that doing this does require a level of discipline. But eventually, if you do it enough times, then it becomes kind of like exercising a muscle. As you resist, keeping like your messenger on, resisting any notifications, or just actually having your phone on airplane mode, I think this process helps a lot. And the crucial thing with this is, just as how these athletes show up in competition, is how we should show up in life. So while it might seem insignificant, the day-to-day things, they accumulate, and it kind of compounds over time, which is why I've written here that life's not a sprint, but it's a marathon. And so those results, they tend to compound over time. If you are all the time distracted, not able to get into a level of deep thinking, then it's going to be very difficult to accumulate the level of concentration and focus to do the things that you really want. And especially this is the case when it comes to any kind of knowledge work. So I hope you've enjoyed this video.